Hey everyone, my name is Luke Herchuk, and I'm the writer, director, and producer of Around the Corner, and I'm joined by,
Michael Linnell, the main actor of the movie.
and also executive producer.
Executive producer as well.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And we've got,
And I'm Joshua Herchuk, the co-writer of this film.
yeah, so this we're recording this on February 6th, 2023, a couple days after finishing the film, and we showed it at a theater, at a premiere, and it went really well. But yeah, getting into the commentary here, I this beginning element, the first two scenes here kind of set up the main character John and his losing his job, and just really sets the table for the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm. And one thing about these kitchen scenes actually is they were really hard to work around and film because the kitchen is not laid out normally like most kitchens would be, so we had to work around it and stuff like that.
And then we had that fish tank around too, right? So it was
Yeah.
hard to like get the lighting down. And,
Yeah, there was a fish tank behind them, and yeah, that we just kind of wanted to avoid it, but it wasn't bad. But yeah, I've never actually had as challenging of filming these scenes in the kitchen. For me as a director, were really challenging. I've just the blocking of it was so complicated, and just the angles and where the actors are going to be. I was like, there. I thought it wouldn't be that, like, it's just a kitchen scene. How is that going to be complicated? But
it was
yeah, but it turned out really well, I think.
Oh yeah, the setup was pretty good too.
And the house we got too, our friends let us borrow their house, and it was perfect for what we needed. And just the outside, the inside, it was really great. And they just let us completely take over. They just kind of left for the weekend and gave us free reign, and we took good care of it, thankfully.
Remember that part when I was in the bed? They set up that thing, right?
Yeah.
So they can have the camera on top and they can see me from above. That was pretty cool.
That overhead shot, that was. I shot listed that overhead shot, but I didn't think we were gonna actually get it. I was kind of like ready to delete it, but Cam Heo really just came through for us, and his team. They got that overhead shot, and it was mind blowing. We also have one later in the film, but yeah, that just added so much to the production value, and just overall. Cameron's work on the cinematography I was really happy with, and like the angles here and stuff, it's really cinematic and really feels like a movie in the theater, and really like one of those expensive Netflix movies. And
for sure, even my teachers were saying too, like DOP was pretty good. Like it was really good. Really liked it, and transitions too, that were really good.
And this shot here,
eating chips.
It's a simple scene, but it really.
We did it like 4 or 5 times. But,
I felt bad for you.
I was just like bloated from so many.
You
chips,
almost ate the whole bag of chips.
I know. It was pretty bad,
but I think it really added to the movie. Honestly, it kind of gave you that disgusting feeling of like, just like.
And there you go. This is a part where you guys were like, no. Charles Chaplin, like, just be don't do like overdo it, just be like don't do too much. And he came up pretty good, right?
Our little comedic moment of the film.
And I think the music helped sell this scene too, because we added a little comedic theme there. And just I wanted to say that even Cam Boyer, who did the music, oh man, I was really impressed with that. Like, we started the music from we started with the inspiration called the Mighty Rio Grande. That's kind of what inspired a lot of the soundtrack. But it's just this really nice guitar theme that we kind of layered throughout. And it kind of repeats a lot. And it really, like, I really connected with that. So I'm really happy with the job he did,
This is the first time that I meet with Chloe, right?
Yeah, life can be pretty busy as a married man.
I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. I just didn't see a ring.
Lana's first introduction here. It was really interesting, actually. It was kind of funny writing this character, Lana, who's or Chloe, who's very flirtatious and
Very
and
Yeah.
but it was an interesting character to write, definitely. But it was fun too, and I think Lana did a great job of selling it and really being into you, I guess.
And it was settled too. It wasn't like over the top.
Yeah, it's not the most realistic character, like as we wrote it, because you don't see that every day.
Yep.
But I think it's believable enough,
Yep.
and especially Lana's performance really brings it in to something that's you can see like this is actually happening. It looks
Yeah.
like. And,
That's right. And even this coffee shot too, like we
Oh.
did it so many times,
Yeah.
and then the cup fell.
yeah, spilling the coffee there.
Spill the coffee. Well, we did a good job too. right?
I was happy to do that. It was really fun. It was well. I mean, we were trying to get you to make it as realistic, but
Right.
it's so hard to do that because it's like pretending to knock something over.
Right on an angle too, right? So you don't want to mess it up.
Yeah. Now you got experience.
That's right. Yeah. There goes
Yeah.
Chloe. Look at that.
Yeah.
Ready to flirt again.
And that shot there just really shows his lust at this part, and it's like actually something we really talked about, and we did in pre-production. We had like meetings before filming.
Yeah.
We sat down for like 2 hours discussing every scene and really
Yeah.
the in depth, and what we really talked about was like his public self versus his private self.
That's
And I think that's something a lot of guys struggle with, like living different lives in the dark and in front of others.
Yeah.
So I think you really did a good job with showing his kind of like putting on a put together aspect, like
Yep.
everything's fine, and then in the dark we see his struggles and pain
Yeah, for sure.
in a lot of scenes. But I think
She's flirting right now pretty much the whole time.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what was interesting in this scene is he's disinterested in her when he's talking to her and doesn't want to talk. But then
But then I'm looking at her right now.
yeah,
like,
before she comes and then after she leaves, you're just you're
Staring.
staring at her. So it's like this
the struggle.
pretending to be all pure talking to her, and then you're just
Yeah.
staring at her when she's not looking.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
But then she catches you, and that really gives her motivation to keep coming back. Like,
That's right.
oh, and then even the
Like even
progression
now, like
here,
I am like on Facebook, like spying on her.
Yeah.
the little
Wow.
creep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is this is a very interesting moment too, because now John is really feeling that
Mm,
aspect of like the battle in with him, right?
and what he's doing to
What
his wife
he's doing to
too.
his wife too, right? So
Mhm.
he's struggling already.
Yeah, and it's also the wife is not Ruby's not off the hook too, because like yeah, he's doing all these things, but she's also kind of forgetting to forgive the little things and
Right.
forgetting to show him that little love each day, and like the things that really can really heal a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But Melissa Taylor, wow, she did a really great job with Ruby
Mhm.
and really portrayed the mother and wife aspect that we were looking for, and really helped contrasted that with Chloe's character, and so that
That
they're
was
two
so important.
distinct characters,
Yeah.
not just like, because it's easy to, yeah, you want them to stand out as two polar opposites even.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this scene because it really shows this the awkwardness of the conflict. It really makes you feel that as the audience.
Totally.
You could feel the tension, like, is
And even now, you can see the tension too, right? Like
Mhm.
she knows that I got into a fight.
mhm.
She's coming, and I have no idea how to deal with that, right?
Mm.
So you can see that tension, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you did a really good job here, I thought, because like it's so hard to portray that switching gears there,
Yeah.
switching from arguing with his wife and then trying to put on this happy face. And I know we talked about that a lot.
Yeah, we
and
talked about that. Yeah, for
But-
sure.
that. Yeah, that it really is great here, and even just this look as she's walking away, it's like
I'm still staring at her, right? Like lusting, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Then I'm going home, right?
Yeah.
Like, see ya.
And another thing, production wise, these scenes were hard to film because of the audio. I remember there was so much noise in the neighborhood. There was a saw going like the whole day. There was kids screaming. There was cars going by every 10 seconds. And that was a challenge. But thankfully we had enough good audio takes to get through that. But
one funny story I remember is our location manager, Jason, was patrolling the street trying to make sure everything was going as planned, and then these kids were making so much noise in the background, and then he actually ended up bribing them with cookies from Crafty.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
So they kept quiet after that.
Yeah, we kind of invited them to kind of watch the production.
This is a good moment too, because like I'm already like crying to God and saying like, why is this happening? This is so hard.
Yeah.
And now here comes again, like she knows what's happening.
Mm-hmm. She's just pressing in all the way.
And it's not like you're just like totally forgetting God. You're still calling out to him, but even though you're slipping a lot, but yeah, and yeah.
This moment is interesting too, because why did I open right away to her?
Because your heart was already open.
It's already open, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I actually just thought of that now. Wow, that's a good point.
One thing we wanted to show when we were writing this is we wanted to show like a progression. It's kind of hard to show that progression though in a short film, but I think we did a pretty good job, and you did a pretty good job of showing that progression of like faithfulness to his wife all the way to somehow he's letting this strange woman into his house, but he's just weak in that moment, and
the vulnerable part. Like you can see the struggle right now. Like he's like struggling. Like, is this right or not?
But also he's kind of closed off. His heart's kind of cold towards his wife as well. So that opens it up too. And this was. I remember we just kind of kept the mood somber on set for this scene, because it was like we really want to give you that space, both of you, to get into character and really feel it. And I think it really comes through your performances, just really just the vulnerability. And I remember this next shot, that zoom in we added on his face, on your face there, that wasn't, we didn't film it like that, but I added that in post because I really wanted to emphasize that moment, and I think it really felt with the music really came together.
And even this part too, like we didn't know how to do it, right? And then
the way we wrote this was kind of tame, and we wrote it like their arms were around each other, but I remember just feeling on set, you were like, no, that doesn't seem right, and you and Lana were just kind of saying like, no, maybe just looking at each other for a few moments and closing the door. And that works so well, especially that one shot where you guys just stand in frame. That was so poetic too. Like, and we're not even doing like this full on scene that's
not
like
even kissing or anything. It was just that moment
but it implies,
right? It implies already everything.
It shows nothing but shows everything. Which is hard to do.
I like this little contrast here, going into the room with Chloe and then waking up beside Ruby, and you're like, oh wow,
super good contrast.
It's like almost a surprise. Like people probably think, oh, it's Chloe beside him, but
it's not.
And I
mean, this moment is pretty like, this is like the pinnacle of the movie, right? Like this is like, I already sinned. What's next? How is Ruby gonna react? And now we have this moment.
We thought about ending it before this scene, just when he's like, there's something I need to tell you. And we even had like his full confession at one point in the script.
Is that right?
But we took it out, and because it was just kind of saying too much, because we see it here. And actually when I was editing the scene for a long time, I just had it on this angle. And then I sent the rough cut to Cam, the DP, and he's like, maybe try to get the reverse angle, this shot in it as well, because it feels so nice with her back to him and just disconnecting them.
That's right.
And that was a good call, because it adds so much to this.
At this moment, you see how I'm like grabbing my ring.
Yeah. Oh.
I actually thought about taking it off at that moment, but I didn't know what to do, right? So I was like, if I throw it or something, it would have been too much.
Yeah.
But I was like hesitating, right?
Yeah, I think that was really good hesitation looking back slightly.
Yeah.
You know, just like you could really see the struggle and the decision in your eyes that you had to make. Like,
yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, and the verse at the end there, "Guard your heart above all else," from Proverbs, is really really inspired, or like that was the theme of the film and what we really led to. And usually I don't like when a movie ends with a verse or something, but I think it worked in this case. And it's
well, it's the main theme of the movie, right? Like
Mhm.
you gotta guard your heart. You don't want to sin, so you always have to pray and ask God, like guide me so I don't fall, right?
Yeah. And a lot of people are saying, oh, like it could set up a sequel, but that's not really the intention of this. It was more just to have that hard-hitting ending where it's like, boom, and you more think about what's going to happen rather than, oh, there's another story. It's just that moment gets you thinking about your own life.
I mean, he left it open because a lot of friends, like my friend who saw the movie, was like, what happened after? I'm like, I don't know. Did they get divorced? I don't know.
Up to interpretation.
Up to interpretation, yeah.
It's like Inception when he's spinning the top. And do we know if it falls over or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And wow, this was such a... Yeah, everyone came together to make this project, and wow. So that's the commentary. Thank you for watching this, and enjoy your day.
Yeah, God bless you guys.